Bigger Tricks Trivia Time. Grab your friends and play it online. With Ali and Gina and Taco just for you. It's Bigger Tricks Trivia Time, and we're feeling alright. Okay, come on, let's play.
Welcome. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ali with Baig of Tricks Entertainment, and I'm so glad that you are here with me tonight for our first ever online trivia fundraiser night. We are doing this for the incredible West Suburban Humane Society. So before we get started, I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting such an awesome cause. I will go over our sponsors. I'll go over the prizes that we have available, the split the pot that we'll be doing electronically tonight. You can enter that from the comfort of your home. So I will be covering all of that. But before we do, for those of you that are already here on the stream, make sure that you also join the online trivia game. So if you can hear me and you can see me, that's half of what you need to do, because I'll ask you the questions via YouTube. But in order for you to answer and actually have your answers graded and counted, you need to join the online game. You can do that. I'll throw this up. You can see on the screen online.baigoftricks.com, and then you can enter the code WSHS for West Suburban Humane Society. If, like somebody in the comments already said, Swamp Dog 100. If you go directly to online.baigoftricks.com/WSHS, that'll get you there in just one less step. But either way, gets you to the same place. When you see the screen that I have here, you're good. You don't need to do anything else. You'll see the trivia game will begin shortly. Or if you're on your phone or your computer, you may see this screen, which I'll show you. So I'll show you exactly what this looks like. If you're playing with us tonight, when you show up here, it's going to ask you, what is your name? I'll say, my name is Ali. What's your email? Ali@baigoftricks.com. What state are you playing from? I imagine most of our friends here tonight are from Illinois. West Suburban Humane Society is out of Downers Grove. But the cool thing about this online platform is we have made many friends. If you just bought tickets to this game, give me 1 second. I'm going to talk to Gina, my fiance, behind the computer. She's handling all the comments and questions. If you just bought tickets to the game, message the West Suburban Humane Society. We don't have any of the logistics of that. They handle all the tickets, so I'm sure that they'll be able to email that, or they will be. I'll also send a message right now to Jill. All right. So again, before I go any further, actually, let me say one thing. We are here tonight for our first ever online trivia night. We have only been hosting online trivia for about a month since the lockdown began. So while we are very excited to have this event up here for you, please understand that this is still a very new platform. So I'm not promising that we will, but there is always a chance that something may glitch. We may have an issue with one of the questions, or maybe your internet goes out. If it's your internet that goes out, there's nothing I can do. I apologize. Heaven forbid that our internet goes out. Knock on wood, it hasn't happened since we started doing this. But please know that is the inherent risk of the platform that we're forced to use right now, is that it is the internet. It's a little unpredictable, but for the most part, we've tried to make this as simple and as easygoing as possible. So as I showed you just a second ago, if you see on my screen, if you're playing from your phone, which is what we recommend, or an iPad, you should see this screen, the West Suburban Humane Society logo at the top, and it says the game will begin shortly. The game will not begin until I actually click the start button on my side, and I'm not going to do that for just a little bit because we want to give everyone time to get here. I see right now we already have 153 people on. I was told that tickets for the game ended at 5 p.m. So if you just bought tickets, you probably bought raffle tickets. Raffle tickets are still available until 7. I'll tell you about that in just a second. But my request here for all of you, I'm very excited to be doing this. I know you guys are excited to be here, and we're doing this for such a great cause. Please be patient with us. This is the very first event we've done in this format. This is the largest event we've done for a fundraiser online. And if as many people show up as we think are coming, this might just be flat out the largest event we've done, which would be very exciting. So thank you all for being here. I just humbly ask for your patience as we go through this. We are doing our best. Like I said, I think we have a pretty good platform ready to go for you, but it is unpredictable. So if anything comes up, we'll deal with that then. In the meantime, as long as you have that game ready to go, you are ready to go. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. I'll tell you exactly how the platform works before we go, but before we get into any of that, I want to tell you a few things. Number one, first and foremost, why we're here. So obviously, if you're here, you've bought a ticket, you know that we're supporting the West Suburban Humane Society. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I think you probably have a general idea of who they are and what they do, but I want you to know specifically about the West Suburban Humane Society. So this is straight from them. I want you to know from them who they are. The West Suburban Humane Society is a no-kill animal shelter located in Downers Grove, Illinois. They were founded all the way back in 1972 and have grown and expanded their service to the community over the years. Now, as of today, housing up to 25 adoptable dogs on site and between 60 to 70 cats at any given time. With over 100 cats and dogs living in dedicated foster homes. That's another way you can help out. Each year they adopt between 500 to 600 animals with the support of their amazing community, donors and volunteers. They have just recently, I was going to say this even if they didn't put it on here, they just recently moved into a new adoption center located where the previous shelter was, but it is much bigger. They have greatly increased their capacity and their ability to fulfill their mission to help out all of those dogs and cats out there. So thank you so much for supporting the West Suburban Humane Society. Everything that you've donated by purchasing a ticket tonight is going to go a long way to helping. In addition, there is a sponsor, specifically a title sponsor for tonight's game, and that is personally one of my favorite businesses I've ever been to. And I say this truly. Nobody paid me to say any of this. Partners in Paws Veterinary Services in Lisle, Illinois. I used to walk there for our vet appointments. They were so close to where I lived previously. Gina and myself actually have been there with all of our pets. And a quick update, this doesn't have specifically to do with West Suburban or Partners in Paws, but in the corner up here, you see this little adorable orange tabby waving his hand at you. That is, and I will get emotional, Gina probably did, that is our boy, Parker. Who, if you are out there and you're from Partners in Paws and you're hanging out with us, you may recognize him. Parker was a regular, unfortunately, a regular visitor to Partners in Paws over the years, and we lost him this year. We love him, so I wanted him to be here because I want Partners in Paws to know how much they meant to us. They took the most incredible care of him throughout everything, friggin' cancer. So we love him. We love them. We're so happy that Partners in Paws was involved in this event so that we can bring all of this together. So thank you to them for taking care of our most beloved pets, and thank you to them for taking care of this event tonight. So like I said, that's who we're here doing this for and what they're doing for us and for those pets out there. There's a lot that you can do to help. You can donate, you can foster, you can volunteer. There's a whole bunch of info about that on the West Suburban Humane Society website, so please do check that out and find out how you can help out. One way you can help out tonight and maybe win something yourself is entering the Split the Pot raffle. So we're doing an online Split the Pot The only thing different from a regular Split the Pot is you're purchasing tickets online rather than little raffle tickets, which would have been me walking around yelling, trying to get you to buy them. So they made my job easier. They sold these tickets online. If you've already purchased a ticket, you're good. If you haven't, those ticket sales, I believe, will be open until 7 p.m. So halfway through this, those will be open until 7. At that point, we're going to cut it off, and then Jill and the staff with the West Suburban Humane Society is going to draw two winners, because it is a Split the Pot, but we're doing 2 prizes tonight. The first person that they draw will get exactly what you'd think, half of the pot. So however much is raised with Split the Pot, you get half of that money. The second person that they draw will earn, I'm going to see if I can put this back up so you can see. You can still hear me. Actually, it's not on there. I don't know why I put it up. Will earn another prize, which is a 2-week meal subscription for either a dog or a cat from Nom Nom, which is a home delivery meal service. Super convenient right now, especially. So 2 prizes for Split the Pot tonight. Those tickets will be up until 7. All of that information is in the event in the Facebook. All the links are there. The tickets, you can get them. But that's pretty much it. I'm sure we have some questions and some things.
I'm handling the questions. Just one thing. Someone refreshed their page and it kicked them out. So when they tried to get back in, it told them their email's already in use.
Ooh, hang on one second. I think I can change something for that.
Okay. Yeah, just like unassign it.
Yep.
So she
Give
can log
me
back
one second. Okay. So I just refreshed this. If you're out there, and you can communicate with Gina in the comments. I think I mentioned earlier, Gina, my fiance, is behind the computer. I'm here talking with you, but she's the one that actually communicates and does the hard stuff. So she will be answering your questions. If you are the individual who couldn't get back in, try refreshing your page once more and sign in with the same email address. I just turned on a feature that should allow you to sign back in. And if not, then I will just turn off the email address eventually altogether. But let's see what happens. Okay. While we're waiting, a few things about how this works. Obviously, if you're hearing, you're seeing me, you've already figured out that we're on YouTube Live. Somebody out there asked, can I put this up on my TV? Typically, you can, but you actually do need the link. Since this video is only for individuals who purchase tickets, we made it unlisted. Good.
Yeah, actually, Sarah helps the person. If you're on your phone and you like the video, she said then you go and log on TV, it should be in your liked video.
Okay, perfect. So if you're out there
that works.
and you're saying, hey, listen, I have a smart TV. I want to put this video up on the TV. The easiest way to do it is to just pull it up, because you can click the link on your phone, open the YouTube app, like the video, and then when you go to your YouTube app on your TV, as long as it's the same profile, the video will show up there for you. So that's a little advanced. You don't need to do any of that. That's just another way to enjoy the experience that we have for you tonight. But our recommendation is to make sure you have this video open on a computer, a laptop, a desktop, or your TV. And then you could choose to also pull up the trivia game on your computer. But my recommendation is to actually pull up the game on your phone. So that way, if you're sitting at home and it's you and your significant other and maybe your kids or your parents or your grandparents, you could just put the video up on one computer, and then everybody that purchased a ticket can play on their phone. So again, please be honest and fair here. We're raising money for a good cause. If you do want to have an individual account, make sure you purchased a ticket. If you just purchased one ticket and you're playing as a family, that's fine. You can play as a team. Just make sure that you only sign in on one device, because we do have a limit. I don't think we'll hit it, so don't worry. But please be honest about that. That's why we're here. So we do have a prize. Speaking of being honest, we are playing trivia online. So there is always the inherent desire that someone may want to cheat. Please don't do that. I wish I didn't even have to say this. Don't Google. Don't Bing the answers. Don't try to find them online. Anything you type in should come out of your brain. If it's multiple choice or if it's text answer, somebody should think about it. Should come up with that answer that's on your team, and then you submit it. So please keep it honest, because we do have a prize tonight for the top individual or team, which is an awesome swag bag, or if you will, a whole big prize purse. I have it here. They listed what's in it.
No Ask Jeeves.
No Ask Jeeves. No Alta Vista. So it's a West Suburban Humane Society swag basket, which includes a dog bed, 2 whiskey glasses, 2 stainless steel beer glasses, a phone pop socket, a mouse pad, a flashlight, and an insulated lunchbox. So the top individual or team tonight is going to win that. We do have Split the Pot going on, like I mentioned. There are some other events coming up. You'll see those rotating because I'll put that back up on the screen every time we take a small break in between rounds. But overall, that is pretty much it. I just want to say one more time because I forgot to mention, not only thank you to our sponsor, but Partners in Paws of Lyle gives a 20% discount on most product and services for the first year when you adopt a shelter animal. So they want to help out as many pets as possible and help you help out as many pets as possible. So they do offer that 20% off most services, things that they do when you adopt a shelter pet for the first year. So again, huge shout out to them for sponsoring this tonight. A huge shout out to West Suburban for allowing me to do this for you guys. We are going to dive into trivia here in a few minutes. I know this intro has been a little long, but I still see people joining the game. So I would rather have everyone wait a couple extra minutes than to start without a lot of people.
Everyone had their beverages?
Yeah, this is a good opportunity to grab a drink. Gina's is gone. Alcoholic or not, we're not here to judge. Water, pop, if you want to eat, this is what lockdown is all about. Let's make the most of it. You're at home. You're not going anywhere unless you're an essential worker, in which case, thank you. We don't say that enough. We do appreciate everything that you're doing. We know not everybody has the quote-unquote luxury of staying home, even though some people don't want to do that. Please do. You don't have to leave. So we're going to get started. I'm going to start by 6:20. I'm going to give myself a cutoff, and I want to give these last few people time to join. Make sure if you have not yet, I'll put it back on the screen one last time. Make sure you do join. Go to online.baigatricks.com, enter the code WSHS, or you can go directly online.baigatricks.com/WSHS. If you want to purchase raffle tickets and you're waiting for the game to start, this is a good time. Get those in. They will be sending me the winners shortly after 7. We'll announce the winners at the end. Oh, perfect. Jill just let me know. I think everybody is pretty much here. We sold 157 tickets. We have 157 people helping out tonight. So we will. I know when I go to fundraisers, I like to hear this. At the end, they're going to send me a total raised. So what we did for West Suburban Humane Society by helping out tonight, including Split the Pot and the tickets that we sold. So I'm excited to share that with you later. So again, make sure you are signed into the game. If you are there, you'll see the screen that I showed you earlier that just says the game will begin shortly. How this works, there are 2 different types of questions. So this is the screen you should be seeing. There are 2 different types of questions that we can do on this platform. We do multiple choice, and we also do open-ended questions where you have to submit your own answer. We won't give you options. We're going to move back and forth between them. I have some fun themed rounds for you tonight. So I tried to make this varied. Questions that maybe appeal to a younger generation, questions that appeal to an older generation, men, women, all demographics. I've tried to make this as varied as possible, but still keep it fun. I don't want to ask you 30 questions about U.S. presidents. We might have a couple, but it's not going to be all history trivia, but it's also not going to be all movie trivia. We have a little bit of everything, I think. We have some fun themed rounds in between, mixed in throughout here. And after, I think we'll break it into about 4 rounds. After every round of the first 3, we'll take just a couple-minute break to grab a drink, use the restroom, whatever you need to do, and I'll talk a little bit more about West Suburban Humane Society. So we are going to get started. The first round of questions that we're going to see here will be multiple choice. If this is your first time playing trivia with us online, there are just a few things you need to know. First and foremost, you'll have 4 answers to select from, A, B, C, and D. Every question that's multiple choice will always have A, B, C, and D. All you have to do is once you see the answers pop up on your screen, click the one you think is right. If you think it's B, you hit B. It's that simple. If you think it's C, you hit C, etc., etc. There is a timer for each question, and once I start the timer, you'll have 30 seconds to get your answer in. 30 seconds from the time I start the timer. So when you see the answers pop up, you have 30 seconds before they'll go away and you won't be able to answer. The only other thing you need to know right now before we start is with the multiple choice questions, the quicker you select your answer, the more points you earn if you're correct. So every multiple choice question we do tonight is worth a maximum of 100 points if you were to answer instantly and you were right. If you wait right until the last second to get your answer in, but you're right, you'll still earn points, but not nearly as many as somebody who answers instantly. So I'm telling you this because that makes it a little more competitive, but I want you to know if you click the wrong answer because you're trying to get your answer in really quick, you can't take it back. You can't undo it and switch it. Once you've clicked an answer, it's in, all right? So make sure you're watching it. We're going to do multiple choice questions in this first round. The very first question you see on your screen is going to be a practice question, so I'm going to get it up there so you can see how this works. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Cheers to West Suburban Humane Society. Cheers to you all for supporting them, and cheers to everyone who is here tonight. All right, here we go. I'm going to put the first question up. Again, this is a practice question. It won't count for points. This is just so you can learn how the system works. Question number 1. This is a multiple choice, but again, you won't see your options until I start the timer. And when I start the timer, you have 30 seconds to select one. The sooner you do, the more points you earn if you are right. What is the name of your trivia host today? That's me. What is the name of your trivia host? You now have 30 seconds to answer. Is his name Ali, Jason, Nick, or Mike? Ali, Jason, Nick, or Mike? What is the name of your trivia host this evening? I don't know how to feel about the number of incorrect answers that we might see. Maybe I need to say my name more.
Did you actually get the question?
Yeah, it's going.
Oh, I see it now.
We're getting a lot of votes in, a lot of answers in. Gina, do you know this one? What?
Someone couldn't get in. I put in the website and just clicked on the website to buy a package.
All right, Gina's helping somebody out in the comments, so we're going to just wait 1 second. Maybe try the direct link.
I'm just copying.
Okay, cool. Mary Beth, Gina is going to help you. She's going to send you a link that will get you directly to the game. Once you go to that link, make sure it will ask you to enter your name, your email, and the state you're playing from. You have to enter those 3 things, but once you've done that, you'll be good to go. So for everybody else that's already in, if you've never played trivia with us on our online Baig trivia platform, there are a couple cool things we can see. The first one of those is how you guys answered. So 99 of you thought that my name was Ali. 20 of you thought Jason. 16 thought Nick. 7 of you thought Mike. I saw a comment out there that said I don't see Taco as an option. That's a good call. You'll see Taco soon. All right, cool. So I think everybody's in. And now the last thing you'll see every time is the correct answer, which was Ali. My name is Ali. Ali Baig with Baig of Tricks Entertainment. So thank you all for being here. Now you know my name. Gina's talking with a lot of you in the comments. I try to look at the comments as much as I can to keep it interactive, but I do not do well with multitasking, so excuse me if I don't see your comments for a while. So this is it now. Now we're moving on to real questions. They're going to be worth points. Beginning with this. Again, cheers, guys. Thank you for being here. Let's have some fun. Question number 2, but our first real question is on your screen. You'll be able to answer once I start the timer. Question 2. Which of Disney's 7 dwarfs did not have a beard? Only one of Disney's 7 dwarfs did not have a beard. Which one of them was it? We almost had an accident. Taco knocked something over. But you can see why, because he was just getting in his chair. This is your first view at our taco cam. I know you guys are still answering, so we'll flip to the taco cam every now and then. Let you guys see what Taco's up to. I'll scoot him a little closer. Oh, what a boy. This is our pup. I imagine the people at Partners in Paws may recognize him as well. He has been there often. He was there recently. He loves it there. All right, here we go. So everybody's in. Once again, we can see how you answered. 4 of you said sleepy. 3 said sneezy. 14 said bashful. I think people answer bashful because you can see his red cheeks, right? So you think he doesn't have a beard. But the correct answer is dopey. Dopey, the one who found Snow White in the first place, is the only one of the dwarfs who did not have an actual beard. All right, so now we know how this works. We'll pull up the rankings really quick so you can see what it looks like. We're not going to look at the rankings after every question. We'll do them intermittently pretty much after every round. But currently, We have Ben in first place, NBC in second, and Schnitzel's in third. They're technically all tied for first. If you're seeing this for the first time, the top 3 individuals stay on the screen. That's what the computer does automatically, and then everybody else rotates through. So if you don't see your name on the top 3, it will come up on the rotating screen on the bottom. And again, most of you answered this one correctly. So the scores are really close. It all comes down to how quickly you got that answer in. How quickly you knew it was Dopey. For the love of Carter, I like calling out some of the team names. If I don't call yours, it doesn't mean I don't like it. I just may not have seen it. Jen Sterna! Oh, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for playing. Julie H., Del Boca Vista, Edward, Mike, Robert, Pat, Roy, Julie C., Elaine, and Scott. Wise Quackers, I like that. Allison H., another Gina, Melody, Mike and Team JN, thank you for being here. Ben's family. I see people with asterisks in front of their name. I imagine you're all from the same place, maybe. I see asterisk, Lisa G. If you can hear me, let us know in the comments. Are you guys all together? Are you from a certain place? We'd love to know. All right, so that's how the rankings work. Like I said, we're not going to look at them after every question, but we will look at them pretty much after every round. So question number 3 coming up. By population, so not size, but by population, what is the smallest state capital in the United States? This might be really tough if we didn't have multiple choice, but you at least have a 25% shot. Which one of these, by population, is the smallest state capital in the United States? Is it Pierre, South Dakota, Augusta, Maine, Frankfort, Kentucky, or Montpelier, Vermont? Isn't Sioux Falls the capital of South Dakota? Did I type it wrong completely?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a city. Good. I doubted myself for a second. All right, let's see what you thought. So I mentioned earlier, overall, the questions start out easy and get tougher, but I do throw some in that may be a little tougher in the beginning, and I keep some at the end that are easy. I like to mix things up. I don't want you to think that everything's easy and everything's tough by certain parts of the event. And this is an example of one because 64% of you said Pierre, South Dakota. 34 people said Montpelier, Vermont. And those 34 individuals were right in this case. The capital of Vermont by population is the smallest. Pierre is up there. It is up there. All 4 of these, I believe, are the smallest 4. But Montpelier, I don't know. I don't speak French. It's French, right? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. 34 of you. Quarter of you still, though. Got it right. Here we go. Question number 4. By the end of the Harry Potter series, or at the end of the Harry Potter series, which one of these characters marries Hermione Granger? Who marries Hermione in the Harry Potter series? Is it Neville, Draco, Ron, or Harry? All right, everybody's in. You guys did not struggle with this one. 89% of you, that's as close to social as we're going to get right now. 89% of you said Ron Weasley. Congratulations. If you've been playing trivia with us online over the last month, you know that I like to celebrate when a majority of you get the answers correct. And to do that, I call a social. It's completely optional. If you're drinking water or pop or lemonade or alcohol, whatever you have, please raise a glass and cheers to yourself, to everybody out there who did so well in this question. Congratulations.
Lemonade sounds really delicious right now.
Lemonade sounds real good.
Like
Lavender lemonade. Question number 5. Which of these authors gave us the book titled On the Origin of Species? Who wrote the book On the Origin of Species? Was it Charles Darwin, Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, or Louis Pasteur? Oh, now my French is coming back. Louis Pasteur. So just a heads up, it hasn't really mattered yet, but I try to add pictures or GIFs to every question. Sometimes they're related, and sometimes they're just there to look cool. Like this one, this isn't a hint. It's just a bunch of books because we're talking about a book. So please don't let it throw you off. Don't look too deep into the picture that I attached. I do not tend to put hints or tips in those pictures. Not that you needed it here. Charles Darwin, 99% of you. Only 2 people clicked anything else. So cheers. That's an official social in my book. Congrats.
Good job, guys.
All right. Question number 6. Which of these, so you're going to have multiple choice just like we have already. What is the best-selling movie soundtrack of all time? Which of these movies has the best-selling movie soundtrack of all time? Is it The Bodyguard, Grease, Titanic, or Purple Rain? While we're doing this, I saw the West Suburban Humane Society was putting out posts in the Facebook event asking you to send in pictures of your trivia team. So if you're playing at home or if you have a virtual team, please do email them a picture. And I'm going to take it one further. I want to make this interactive right now. So if you're out there and you're playing at home and you have a pet with you, a dog, a cat, a bird, Jansky, you out there, any type of pet that's with you playing this game, send us a picture to the Baig of Tricks Entertainment Facebook page. You can message us. Gina's watching it. You can just message us a picture. We would love to see that. And if you get those into me here soon, I'll feature them. I'll actually put them on the screen for everybody to share. So forewarning, if you send it, I may share it. But I would love everyone to see how everybody's playing, just like you can see the taco cam here. So back to this. This one split you. This one split you guys almost evenly. The Bodyguard got 30 guesses, Grease 51, Titanic 36, and Purple Rain 22. We just watched that. The correct answer.
I like this question.
Yeah, I do too because
It's fun.
some of them have fantastic album. The whole album's good, like Purple Rain and Grease.
Yeah.
Some of them have the one song that carries it, like Titanic and The Bodyguard. And the correct answer here is The Bodyguard. The Bodyguard.
You got one. Mr. Peanut Butter.
Mr. Peanut Butter. Also, I'm seeing here a couple people asked, if you're having issues with the system, if something's not working, you can send a message to our page or comment on the YouTube. Don't message the West Suburban Humane Society for the online trivia system. They're not doing it. They're playing along. They don't know these questions. I did all of this. So I understand if you reached out to them, but do please send us a message to the Facebook page or comment in the YouTube comment box, and Gina can try to help you out from there. Oh, I'm still on the taco cam, aren't I? All right, we're getting some pictures. We're loving it. All right, here we go. Question number 7. Question 7, ascorbic acid. Science question for you. Ascorbic acid is another name for what vitamin? You're going to have 4 choices. Ascorbic acid is another name for which of these vitamins? Is it vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, or vitamin A?
You guys are making my whole week right now with these photos. I love it.
Love it. A follow-up to what I just said. If you're having issues with your internet, there's nothing we can do on our end to help with that. So if your internet is slow or it's cutting out, try resetting your internet really quick. We are going to take breaks in between rounds, so there'll be plenty of time to get back in. If it's loading slowly, just try refreshing the page. I usually say this at the beginning, but I had so much to say I forgot. With our new online system, there's an easy way to tell if it's an issue on our end or on your end. If everybody starts commenting, hey, I can't see anything, I can't answer, it's not working, it's probably something on our end. If it seems like it's still working good, but your individual device isn't working, it's probably a connection issue on your end, and there's nothing we can do about that. That doesn't mean that we're just going to toss you out. That's just to say, try refreshing your page, try disconnecting from the internet and reconnecting, and last resort, try unplugging your modem, plugging it back in, just like they would tell you if you called Comcast. So those are the issues. If that's an issue you're having, those are the suggestions I have right off the top. Let's see what you guys thought here, how your science is. Apparently, your science is very good. You guys know. Vitamin C, ascorbic acid, vitamin C. We are getting overwhelmed with pictures of you guys playing with your animals. Thank you. That is how I would... I'll collect them. I'll just get them in a second.
They're so cute.
Yeah, this is how I would like to be overwhelmed, is with pictures of animals. If I have to go out, it's by looking at pictures of animals. All right, we have one more multiple choice question, and then we're going to change things up a little, and I'll explain that when we get to it. Question number 8, multiple choice. In Indian cuisine, so in Indian cuisine, north, south, east, west, Indian food, what would you be eating if you were eating something called roti, R-O-T-I, in Indian cuisine? What is roti, R-O-T-I? Is it spinach, bread? That shouldn't say roti. Well, roti's not an option. Don't click C. Is it spinach, bread, or meat? Spinach, bread, or meat? So this is an issue. Roti is not the right answer. Roti is the question. I apologize.
Yeah, no, I want some.
Oh, yeah, I'm starving.
Make some homemade naan for us.
I can make some homemade naan, which is a different type of this, which is just the word for this. The correct answer, as many of you knew, it is generically a specific type of bread. Bread, roti, a specific type of bread. It's not meat, it's not spinach. Good job. All right, so we're going to look at the standings. You haven't seen this in a while, so things might have changed. We'll see the first, second, and third participants will stay at the top. The next, everyone will be rotating through, just like we saw before. I'm going to let this go through twice while I collect some of these pictures, so check it out. See where you're at. First, second, and third currently is Ben's family, Cindy, and then Sandra in first, second, and third. Congratulations. Everything else is rotating through. We're getting a lot of pet pictures right now, so thank you. I am collecting them.
Sorry, I will not bring you up.
No, not at all. I'll put it on a taco cam so you guys can enjoy adorable pup instead of looking at my face. Oh, what a boy. Taco's our dog. He was a rescue from Forever Friends out of Carroll Stream or Glen Ellen. And the cutest thing that's happened recently is Gina found online where his brother went, his litter mate, who we almost adopted, but he was taken right before we committed, and then we got Taco, which we're thankful for every single day.
So one photo of his goofy face.
Yeah.
And was it.
Sarah Keogh, I see you out there. Oh my!
But yeah, it's so great to connect with his brother now, and they look like twins. We'll get together for a play date soon.
Yeah, they are literally twins. I mean, litter mates. You can have litter mates that don't look similar though, and these two look. I could get them confused probably. Oh my gosh, guys, these photos.
I know, it's making the day.
All right, I'll come back to this after the next round. So, what you need to know after this question, things are going to change for the next 5 questions. I'll tell you what I mean. The next 5 questions will no longer be multiple choice. We'll do more multiple choice questions in the future, but for the next 5 questions, I'm going to ask you the question, and you're actually going to have to type the answer in on your device. So instead of 4 options on your screen, you're going to see a text box. Once I start the timer, it'll still give you 30 full seconds. You have to type your answer in and hit submit. Don't forget to hit the submit button before the timer hits 0. If you're correct, you earn 200 points. The top person right now only has 592, so there's 1,000 points up for grabs of the next 5 questions. The one other thing I want you to know is that because we're doing this on the internet, if we were out at the bar, if we were at the restaurants playing trivia and you spelled something wrong, I wouldn't care. If you were close, it's super simple. I just give you points. Please do me a favor. I'm asking you, please. I'm giving you 30 seconds to type in your answer. So take your time and try to spell the answers correctly. What's changed is that I'm no longer decreasing the points based on how long it takes you to answer. So if you get your answer in before the timer hits 0 and you're right, you earn all the points. And I'm making a big deal out of this because if you spell the answer wrong, the computer won't give you points. If you spell the answer right, the computer gives you points. If you spell the answer wrong, the computer doesn't give you points, and then I have to go in, manually add points to you. So I'm not saying I don't want to do that or I won't do that, but there are 160 people playing right now. So there's a disclaimer that I put out right now. I won't keep saying it, but I'll tell you right now. I do my best to assign points to everyone that deserves it, even if your answer is spelled wrong. But my disclaimer is the only way you can make sure 100% that you get the points if you have the answer correct is to spell it correct. If you misspell it even a little bit and the computer marks it wrong and I miss it, that could happen. That is one of the limitations of our online trivia is that we only have so much time. So I'm going to do my best, but the thing that you can do to help is to take your time. You don't have to get it in right away to earn the most points. You get 200 even if you get it in with 1 second left. So you still want to submit it as soon as you can, but take your time and spell it right. The next 5 questions all have a theme. The next 5 questions are about Broadway. That was fun. So I didn't make it too difficult. We're not going too deep. All these are going to ask you. I'm going to give you the name of a song from a Broadway musical. I'm going to name a song from a Broadway musical. All you have to do is name the musical. Some of these are going to be simple. Some of them are a little bit tougher, but they're each worth 200 points, and you have the entire timer to get that answer in. Try to spell it right. We're going to move on right now to the first one of our Broadway musical round. Name the musical that features this song. Which Broadway musical features the song Defying Gravity? Defying Gravity. You have 30 seconds. Get that answer in. Which Broadway musical features the song Defying Gravity? Whoa, there are so many.
Animals. We're so lucky.
Yeah.
We need to have a separate photo album on our Facebook for just pets.
We will after this.
How are you doing?
I could use a new one in a second, but I gotta eat my olives. All right. All right, let's see what you guys thought. So I'm going to give you an example of how this works on my end. Here are all the answers you submitted. Obviously, I'm just going to tell you right now, the correct answer was Wicked. Wicked. We got Adina Menzel, Adele Dazeem, as John Travolta would say. Some of you said Peter Pan, Hamilton, Rent, Aladdin. So here's an example of how the system works. You can see in the second row, the first answer says Wicked, but they accidentally typed an L at the end. So obviously, they knew the answer. They just misclicked. So if you watch right now, I want you to watch because I want you to know that I'm not just blowing smoke. I can fix things on my end. I'm going to click on their answer, and I'm going to give them points, and you're going to see it disappear from your screen. Presto, goodbye. Look at that. Now they got points, even though they spelled it wrong. So I do my best to find as many. There's another one on here. Somebody said The Wicked. That's fine. You're talking about Wicked. But everybody else, Frozen, Hair, Guitar, F, did not get it. If you put Wicked, though, you did get points. You earned 200 points, whether you submitted it right at the beginning or right before time ended. That's how the next 4 questions are going to work. The next one starts right now. What is the name of the Broadway musical featuring the song Take Me or Leave Me? Take Me or Leave Me. From what Broadway musical? All right, get those answers in. Time is almost up. You see me eat that olive? Sorry. Yes, I've already saved that one. All right, I am still going through and saving these. I'll be honest, guys, this is the best way that I would ever dream to be overwhelmed. I love that I am having to take time to save all of the pictures of your dogs and cats and other animals. All right, let's see what you guys thought for this one. Again, I'm just going to put them all up, so I'm not doing this behind the scenes. You can see. A lot of you said Rent. A few of you said Phantom of the Opera. I see Glee, Frozen, Les Mis, My Fair Lady, Hair, Hello, Dolly, Dreamgirls. Hey, I think this is maybe a social because nobody spelled it wrong.
Ooh.
Let me just double check before I speak out of turn. But yeah, those of you that knew it, and you spelled it right, which is really good because it's only 4 letters long. Rent is the correct answer. What's the original name? It's based on, do you remember?
La Boheme.
La Boheme. La Boheme. Yeah. So good job. We have 3 more of this style. Question number 11 always takes a second to load. All right. Question number 11. Same format, new musical. Name the musical featuring this song. The song is titled Hopelessly Devoted to You. What musical features this song? Oh, Ed Vaughn with Ben.
You guys have some pretty cute.
Missy, welcome back. Missy, I think I already had a picture of your dogs from the one you posted online. But thank you for the new one.
All these photos make me want to adopt another pet.
We're going to adopt another pet. Yeah. We've got 2 cats. We had 3 cats, as I told you. Parker sadly passed away this year, and we have Taco. But we will definitely at some point have more cats and more dogs, and more. I mean, we have baby bunnies right now in the backyard. Mm-hmm. We didn't name them. We probably should.
I'm just letting them be free.
I always just figure he's got a name. Like his mom gave him a name. Where's dad? Who am I? Who am I to name him? All right. Let's see what you guys thought. Once again, you guys killed it. Grease. Grease is the word, and Grease is the correct answer to question number 11. Here we go. Question number 12. Same type, new song. Name the musical featuring the song titled On the Steps of the Palace. What musical features a song titled On the Steps of the Palace? Yep. Oh, it's okay. I can always click. All right, get those answers in. Time is almost up. All right. Ooh, lot of good guesses. Lot of good guesses. I'll put them on the screen so you can share. A lot of you said The King and I. It's a good guess. On the Steps of the Palace. A lot of you said Into the Woods. I see Aladdin, another one, again, with a palace. I see one down here that's spelled wrong, so let me go give some points to this deserved answer. I see another Aladdin. The correct answer is not The King and I. It is Into the Woods. Into the Woods, on the Steps of the Palace. That's a Sondheim. Stephen Sondheim, is that his name? Into the Woods. Sondheim? I don't know. Oh, here. Got some more ology. Thanks. All right, here we go. One final Broadway musical question. Name the musical, the Broadway musical featuring this song. It's titled, And I Am Telling You I'm Not Going.
What a song.
What Broadway musical features that song? Let's throw the taco cam up for a second. He's awake. He's moving. He's having fun. He's cozy. Wishing he could have a martini. No dog teenies. What are you guys drinking? If you're out there drinking, whatever it is. Again, I'm not always referring to alcohol. We're drinking a martini, but we like to know whatever you're drinking out there. We've heard some great non-alcoholic drinks.
Now I want lemonade.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have lemonade, you've got 2 jealous people here. All right, I'll put the answers up on the screen. We have Dreamgirls, Hamilton, Hairspray, Cats, Phantom of the Opera. I see Dear Evan Hansen, Sweeney Todd, Oklahoma, Grease. I see one up there that is the correct answer, but just spelled wrong, so I'm going to fix it, and then we're going to announce the correct answer. All right, perfect. I think Taco's staring at the camera. Yeah, he is saying hello to you all right now. All right, so let's look at the correct answer, which was Dreamgirls. Dreamgirls, and I am telling you I'm not going, is from Dreamgirls. Congrats to everyone that got that one. We are going to look at the standings right now. This is going to be our first official short break. It's not going to be a long break. We're talking less than 5 minutes. I'm going to throw the rankings up. I'll still be here. I'm not going anywhere. But this is the opportunity, if you're out there, to rest assured that if you have to run to the restroom or you need to refill your drink or grab some food or take the dog outside to go. Oh, I shouldn't have said that word. He didn't hear. If you have to take the dog OUT, this is the time to do that. You'll have a couple minutes. But I'm going to throw the rankings up so you can enjoy that while we do it. I'll let this go through once or twice. Then I'm going to throw the information about our charity tonight back up on the screen. Ben's family still in first, just by a couple points over Sandra, and now Paige up in third. We'll let this rotate through, like I said, so you can see. I guess I could put the top cam so you're not.
I love all the photos and all of the people who are saying that their pets were a West Suburban Humane Society rescue.
Yes, I love that.
It's nice to see them in happy homes.
All right, once it goes through all the way, I'm going to put together this quick slideshow. We'll enjoy it throughout the night. Sims family, welcome. Thank you. All right, when I do this, if you don't see your pup or your cat, please don't be offended. We're getting a lot of messages. I just downloaded as many as I could to get this started. So this is a quick short break, guys. I'm going to throw this waiting scene back up. So this is just showing you the information about West Suburban Humane Society, about the prizes you can win tonight, about our sponsors, partners, and paws. We love them. Thank you so much for sponsoring this tonight. And again, if you do adopt any shelter animals, they offer 20% off most services for the first year, so please consider that. This is your 6-minute warning to get split the pot tickets. They are available via the link on the Facebook event page, so please do that. Get yourself in. The pot is growing. Somebody's going to win half that pot, and then also a second place person will also win 2 weeks worth of Nom Nom meals. You can see it on the screen right now. There's another way that you can help out the West Suburban Humane Society. Mother's Day weekend, May 8th and 9th, a Petals for Pets plant sale. So do check that out. You can get a plant and help out the West Suburban Humane Society. All right, I'm going to make this real quick. Let's see how this looks. Taco, don't do it. Oh, he thought about barking. All right, here we go. You okay? Mm-hmm. That sounded like a funny bone hit over there. Guys, if you're out there, guys and ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there and you're having a good time, please, in the YouTube comments, if you're out there and you're hearing me, give Gina a big old high five, a virtual pat on the back, a big old thank you. This event could not happen if it wasn't for her. Like I said, I have the easy, fun part, being in front of the camera, talking to you all. She's behind the camera, having to keep up with the questions and the comments and everything that I throw her way. She just made me a second martini. So please, 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 I tell her thank you, but I think it means even more coming from you guys. So please let her know how much you appreciate her. I appreciate her. Taco appreciates her.
Thanks, guys. Good question.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know if there's a way to combine 2 scores from usernames. With 3 usernames.
Yeah, I heard that question. Somebody said, is there a way to combine scores from 2 usernames because you had to go out and come back in? There's not an easy way on my end, but what I'll say is please watch, and if your 2 usernames would combine to somewhere that might put you up towards the top of the leaderboard, keep us abreast of the situation, and I'll take that into consideration. Obviously, if you add your 2 scores up and it doesn't make a big difference, then we still love you, but it's not really going to matter in the long and short of things. But if you think that your 2 scores together would put you in first, second, or third, let us know, and we'll do our best to take care of that for you.
Is there a way to change the aspect ratio of those photos? They were all just like...
I'm changing it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, guys, you're unfortunately, I can't do this behind the scenes, so you are watching me make our fun little slideshow.
I don't know the message of the question. If you could change a player name.
We cannot change a player name. Once it's in, it's in. Sorry. Once you are in, it is in. All right, we're going to get started back up in just about 2 minutes. So 2 minutes, we'll make it 3. We'll make it 7 on the dot. So it's 3-minute warning, 7 o'clock. Reagan says hi, Taco. Hi, Reagan. Taco says hi. Reagan is one of the dogs on here that Taco has met. Oh, he just looked up. Oh, here we go. Getting more comfortable. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Snuggle in there, buddy.
So let me do this. Here's what I'll do. I'll duplicate this. I'll move that there, and then I'm going to delete this. Yes. Again, I'm sorry. I know you're seeing this happen live. There's no way for me to do this in the background right now, but I'm going to make it quick. We're going to put this in here. Oh, we're still getting more dogs. So I'll make another one in a little bit.
Dogs in pajamas. We have dogs in cowboy hats.
We'll add more animals in a little bit here.
Doggies.
And rest assured, even if this isn't shared, if your animal doesn't make the slideshow tonight, we will post this into an album for everybody to enjoy later. Yeah, it's moving now.
There we go.
Yeah, we should be a little bit better. Let me do this. Now we got a lot of you guys. Dogs and cats. Excuse me. You ever think you're doing real good in life and then you choke on your own breath?
Daily.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I thought I was doing well. And then I just choked doing nothing. I wasn't drinking.
Daddy boo.
If you have photos you want to send them to the Baigatrix Facebook page. Just send us a message. Jen Sterna, I know I saw you guys up there.
Oh my gosh.
I saw Reagan. Look at those faces! Every face you're seeing on the screen is playing trivia with us tonight. You can see trivia in the background of some of these. Thank you guys so much for sending these. It literally brightens our day. Every time we see your pups, your cats, any animal that you're playing trivia with or hanging out with, we love it.
Probably our favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
And all the kitties coming up too.
All right. I'm not trying to break your heart, but we got to go back into the questions. I know. We'll go back to that in a little bit. So here we go. You've seen the rankings for a while now. We're going to go on to the next set of questions. The overall round is going to work the same. We'll have 7 multiple choice questions, and then we're going to have a mini themed round at the end of 5, just like we did. But it will not be Broadway musicals. It'll be something totally different. And these 7 questions will be new. They won't be the same that we just saw. Here we go. Get ready because we're going back to multiple choice, which means there will be 4 options, which makes it a little bit easier. But you're going to earn points based on how quickly you answer it again. So easier and harder. That's what we're going to do here. Question number 14 coming up on your screen. Cheers, everybody. Cheers to all those adorable animals. I am taxing this system. Let's see if I can...
We have some photos that were sent to our page too, not a direct message. Some cute animals on there too. Or just one, I think. But
all right, question 14 is coming up. This rankings board is just popping up randomly on me. All right, which company? This is multiple choice again. So you have 4 options, but you are going to earn points based on how quickly you answer, so don't take your time unless you need it. Which company produces the famous number 5 perfume? Okay, we had the correct answer up there. We'll take it down. Which company produces the famous number 5 perfume? Well, just in case you didn't know this. Again, thank you for your patience. This online system is new to us as well. So sometimes things happen, but we do our best. We're just glad that we can be doing this in this format. You know, our other option is to read you a question and have you write it down on a piece of paper and hold it up, or have you message us your answer through Facebook. None of those would work. None of those would allow us to do as many questions in such a short time that we're going to be doing. The correct answer, nobody wondered here. Chanel, Coco Chanel, number 5. Cheers, that's a social. Question 15. A little bit of presidential trivia. I mentioned we wouldn't have 30 questions about the presidents, but we may have a few. You'll have a multiple choice, but who was the 5th president of the United States? Who was the 5th president of the United States? First and second, typically pretty easy, but let's see who knows the 5th. I love the Stephen Colbert. It's called President's Day, and it honors our leaders the way the founding fathers intended, with a half-off sale at JCPenney. All right, everybody is in. We had 76 people say James Monroe, 36 said John Quincy Adams, 18 people said James Madison, and 76 people were correct. Over half of you knew 5th president of the United States was James Monroe. Congratulations. Question number 16. More recent, taping, currently without an audience. A new edition of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire started recently, with which late-night figure as the host? Who is hosting the most recent edition of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Is it Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Conan O'Brien, or Seth Meyers? What'd you say? Yeah. In case you were wondering what it looks like when a dog lives like royalty, tucked in to his super soft blanket. Oh, that's my foot. All right, let's see what you guys thought. Yeah, no real struggles here. Jimmy Kimmel, 108 of you knew it. Good job. Jimmy Kimmel hosting. That's good. No, that's good. No audience. Jimmy Kimmel hosting, though. Here we go. Question number 17. The Farrelly Brothers. Fairly famous movie makers. Directed which of these comedies? Which of these was directed by the Farrelly Brothers? Is it There's Something About Mary, Happy Gilmore, Anchorman, or 4 Weddings and a Funeral? Like I said, overall, the questions will start to ramp up in difficulty a little. We're not trying to make it impossible yet. But you do still have 30 seconds to answer. You earn more points the quicker you answer. All right, let's see what you thought. 73% of you said there's something about Mary. It's cut off, and it looks like there's something about Marv. There's a spin-off idea. Something about Marv. Not many of you guessed anything else. Good job. There's Something About Mary is the correct answer. Anchorman. Happy Gilmore was Adam Sandler. Anchorman was the guy who does everything with Will Ferrell. What's his name? He did Step Brothers. Let us know in the comments. I can't think of his name. Nah, something with a W maybe. Who knows? Adam sounds right. Adam McKay. That sounds right. Look it, I got there. All right, question 18. An alcohol question for y'all. A cocktail consisting of gin, lime juice, sugar, and carbonated water could otherwise be known as which of these? Gin, lime juice, sugar, and carbonated water would be a Tom Collins, a Moscow Mule, a Bloody Mary, or a Harvey Wallbanger. Okay, you guys, I can see, I don't know if I've said this, I can see how your answers are coming in live. So I always get to see what you're guessing as you're guessing it, which is fun. I don't know who said what, so no shaming here. But I can tell you that 78% of people said Tom Collins, 16 people said Moscow Mule, 14 Harvey Wallbanger. Nobody said Bloody Mary. Good job. The correct answer is Tom Collins. Tom Collins is gin, lime juice, sugar, and carbonated water. Question number 19. The movie Remember the Titans. Look at this gift. The movie Remember the Titans focuses on which sport? Which sport is the central focus of Remember the Titans? Is it soccer, basketball, football, or baseball? The past can hurt. But you can learn from it? Is that what he says? All right, let's see what everybody thought. Oh, yeah, this is a social. Good job. Cheers. Football, the correct answer. We had Coach Herman Boone, Denzel Washington. Good job, everybody. So we went to question 13, 7, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this should be the last multiple choice question of this round. Who was the first person, so this is multiple choice, who was the first person inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? It was formerly known as the WWF Hall of Fame. Which one of these individuals was the first person ever inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? Was it Andre the Giant, Vince McMahon, Hulk Hogan, or Randy Savage? All right, everybody is in. Let's see what you thought. So interesting. About 36% of you said Hulk Hogan. 70 of you said Andre the Giant. Correct answer was Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant, good job. Some fun trivia. Macho Man Randy Savage is a Downers Grove North alumni. He went to DGN. And then went on to be the Macho Man. Yeah, snap into a Slim Jim. All right. We're going to look at the rankings because I believe that is the final multiple choice question. Let me double check on that. Once again, thank you all for your patience. This is new to us as it is new to you. So I don't want to short you of a question, but we will look at the rankings here in just 1 second. Yes, we will. All right. Let's stop staring at my face for a second. All right. Let me just, again, I'm just double checking. I don't want to accidentally skip a question. Here we are. Yeah, that is correct. So We'll look at the rankings briefly here, see where you're at. And then we're just going to let this go through once, and then we're going to move on to the next round. Ben's family still in first, barely. Batty Boops Fan Club and Melody in second and third. Jen Sterna, I see you up there in 14th. Lyle Bark District, I love it. I've spent countless miles at Community Park in Lyle when I lived there.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Community Park.
I used to run there every single day.
Yeah. I like it.
He loved that park, too. Did we ever find out? Hey, Molly and Reagan in 56th currently. Did we ever find out what the double asterisks were for? Did anybody say?
No, not that I saw.
That's okay. It's a secret society, so we don't get to know. That's fine.
It's fair.
I see Sarah. Is that Sarah Keogh there, 76?
Yeah.
I saw those pups. Thank you. Thank you to all of you that sent in amazing photos. Like I said, if we don't get to feature them in our slideshow tonight, we will post an album for everybody to enjoy of everybody that played tonight. All right. Here we go. Moving on to the next round. The next one is like what we did with the Broadway questions, but they are not Broadway questions. They are 5 questions that are all related to each other. In this case, and again, you will have the full 30 seconds now. You won't have to rush to get your answer in, but make sure you do get your answer in before it hits 0. In this case, we are switching it up. And we are now talking about the alphabet, more specifically, the NATO phonetic alphabet. So if you've played trivia with me in the past, you know that I enjoy this because it's something, not that it's easy to memorize, but it is something that you could memorize. This is what you may use, like the GIF here, if you're talking on a walkie-talkie or over the phone and you want to make sure you communicate letters correctly. If you want to tell somebody the letter A, you would call it alpha. And if you want to tell somebody the letter B, you would call it bravo. So every one of these answers is going to be one word, and it's going to start with the letter that I'm asking about. What is the NATO phonetic alphabet code word for the letter S? Again, these are going to get tougher, but you get 200 points if you're right. If you want to tell somebody over the NATO phonetic alphabet, the letter S, what code word would you use? You have 30 seconds. Again, alpha is A, Bravo is C, Charlie is Bravo is B, Charlie is C, Delta is D. Kathy, wish we could do teams. My team is in another country. You could Skype with them, FaceTime with them. There are other ways in the future. If we do fundraisers and you register as a team, we could, again, in the future, team you up so that all of your points add together. We do have options like that, but again, this is our very first time doing it online, so we tried to keep it a little simple. We didn't mess with those options too much. Let's see what you guys.
Oh, someone just messaged me. Let's see about the asterisks.
Awesome.
Thank you.
The correct answer for S is Sierra. The NATO phonetic alphabet code word for the letter S is Sierra. Good job. The next 4 questions are the same format but different letters. What is the NATO phonetic code word for the letter R? How would you communicate the letter R? Holy. Guys, I just got the totals for what we raised tonight. And I'm going to let my reaction tell you everything you need to know for now. I'll tell you the actual numbers in a little bit. Let me jump back over here. Let's see what you guys thought the correct answer was. I see just a couple in here that are right but spelled wrong. So like I said, I like asking about these. because it's something fun to memorize. I'm a weird nerd like that. And here's an easy way to remember 2 letters in the NATO phonetic alphabet. R is Romeo and J is Juliet. So if you remember one, you can remember them both. The NATO phonetic alphabet, R is Romeo. 71 of you knew that. And J is Juliet. Good job. Gina's got one of our cats over there. Katniss came out to play. All right, moving on. Next one in the NATO phonetic alphabet. What is the NATO phonetic alphabet code word for the letter V? V. It's so hard for me. Sometimes I ask a question like this, and I almost say V as in... And
Yeah, you give it away.
Yeah.
That's very fair. Excuse me.
Ooh, I also know the Split the Pot winner and the Nom Nom delivery animal food winner, so I'm excited to share that in a little bit. All right, let's see what you guys thought. Oh, no, I'm going to keep it to myself until the end. The correct answer was Victor. Victor. V as in Victor. All right, question 24. New letter, same question. What is the NATO phonetic alphabet code word for the letter Q? Q. What is the NATO phonetic alphabet code word for the letter Q? I can only ever think of the Archer episode. M as in Mancy. I always go back and forth between M as in Mancy and then Step Brothers, where he's going Pan, Pan, Pam, Pam. David Gee. I'm sorry, EJV. I see you there. If you got glitched out, I do apologize. That's one of the issues with the internet here. Sometimes that happens, and I am sorry. All right, let's see what you thought for this one. Q. I imagine I'm going to have to fix a few of these. Yeah, there's one. This one goes out to our friends up north. We have a lot, I would say a lot proportionately to where we're located. We have a lot of our friends who play trivia every day with us online from Canada and Quebec, or Quebec, Quebec, Quebec is the correct answer. As long as you spelled something that looked like Quebec, you got the points for this. One more letter answer, and it is this one. What is the NATO phonetic alphabet code word for the letter N? N. You can see it on your screen. No excuses. What is the phonetic alphabet code word for the letter N? This one, when I asked this out in the bars, this one's missed the most out of all of the ones that we've done so far. So we'll see. We'll see if you guys can do better than the bars. I do some coffee, make me a. It happens. Yes, I'm sorry, EJB, it does. I am sorry. ComEd Field Talk. Yes, if you're on radios or walkie-talkies or old Nextel, what did they call it? Chirps? Yeah.
I remember that in high school.
Oh, I used to sell those phones, yeah.
Let's see, girl.
All right. Everybody that knew it. Only one misspelling I got to fix. So let's throw them up on the screen. And 72 of you. This is pretty consistent. Most of you, over half of you every time knew November. November is the letter N. Congratulations. You killed it. You're through the NATO phonetic alphabet code word round. For those of you that hated it, we're done. We're going to go on to the next round in a second, but I am going to let the rankings go through once. I'm going to let the rankings go through once, and then we're going to take a 3-minute break. Again, I do want to try and get us out of here respectably around 8. It won't be right at 8. We have a decent amount of questions left, but around 8. So I'm going to go through the rankings once, and then I will throw this other thing up so you all can enjoy some other stuff. Ben's family, Batty Boop's fan club. Again, they've been at the top for a second, but that's because it's close. It's 13 points apart. And then Melody is only 100 points behind second. And everybody else here is still within fighting range. The points continue to be 100 points maximum for multiple choice questions, 200 for every fill in the blank. And we have a bonus round at the end of the night. So the final round here is going to be 9 questions, and each one of those questions is worth 300 points, with a final bonus question worth 500. So if you're in last place right now, it'll be tough to make your way into first. But if you're in, anywhere within striking distance, don't give up hope. This is still a lot of people's game to win. Plus, you might have won the Split the Pot or second place in Split the Pot, so don't go anywhere. We'll call that name out. All right, so like I said, 2 minutes. We're going to start up the next round at 7:23. In the meantime, I'll throw this back up for you guys to enjoy for one more second. All right, it is 7:23. We are going to get started. Yes, Taco did take a break as well, but he's back. So next round's going to start. We do, again, have 7 multiple choice questions we're going to get to first, and then one more of our themed rounds, and then we'll finish it off with a bonus round at the end. So here we go. Question 26 coming up as soon as I change these settings back to be appropriate for what we're doing. Here we go. What a boy. Look at that boy. All right. We're back. Question number 26 coming up. This is multiple choice. You will earn more points if you answer quickly, so make sure you're paying attention and you're ready to go when I click the timer. 30 seconds to get your answer in. Question 26. You have a 1 in 4 shot because I've limited it to 4 answers here. What is the color of the middle top ring on the Olympic flag? We unfortunately will not be seeing it this year, but we will next year. What is the color of the middle top ring on the Olympic flag? Is it green, red, blue, or black? I want some of that coffee cake. Not right now, but soon. Yeah. We're talking about dinner over here. What are you guys eating? I made a coffee cake yesterday, and I think we're going to pop in a pizza here in a few. Let us know what you're eating. Make us jealous. Well, let's see what you guys thought. Okay, we split it almost across the board. Green, red, and black, pretty close to each other. Blue, only 22 answers. The correct answer, the middle ring there is the black ring. The black ring. I double-checked and triple-checked that they were not shown on this GIF, except for they're all white, so it didn't hurt your, or didn't help you. All right, here we go. Question 27. If you know me, you know I like Monopoly. How many chance spaces? So the chance square. How many chance squares on there on a traditional, regular Monopoly board? Are there 4, 2, 3, or 6? How many chance squares on a standard, traditional Monopoly board? Oh boy, we have a huge upset.
Oh,
we have a
no.
huge upset coming. I can say that because it won't change what anybody's putting. You don't know what I consider to be an upset. Okay, time is up. Time is up. Will you check the audio? Let's see. Time is up. Time is up. Good. Good to know. Every now and then we just check the audio to see how it's sounded and hanging out with you guys. So let's see what you thought. And I'm going to give something away because I said it's a huge upset. A lot of you said 2. Some of you said 4. But only 12 of you correctly said 3. There are 3 chance spaces on 3 sides of the board. Not every side has one like the railroads, but there are 3 chance spaces. So good job, 12 of you. That's starting to differentiate here. All right, here we go. Question 28. Before she married Prince Harry, and now they've stepped down, in 2018, Meghan Markle was a cast member of which of these television shows? Was it Grey's Anatomy, Game of Thrones, Suits, or Atlanta? Ooh, I didn't think we'd have a Meghan Markle social, but we're about to. We could just social to Meghan Markle anyway. And Harry. He was your favorite, right? Prince Harry. All right, let's see what you thought. No point in wasting time here. Congrats. Cheers. That's a social. 96% of you said Suits.
Good job.
I love Suits. I think I have to finish a season, but I really like that show. That's one we could watch. You know, we're always looking for shows to watch. All right, question 29. Pan Am. You can see it on your screen. Pan Am, P-A-N-E-M, is a fictional nation featured in which of these film series? Pan Am. Is it The Hunger Games, Star Wars, Harry Potter, or The Lord of the Rings? This is an example of a question that I ask out at the bars. Obviously, we don't do multiple choice at the bars, and this one is not usually answered correctly by many people. This one's pretty tough if you don't have 4 answers in front of you, but you guys have shown me tonight that if I give you 4 answers to choose from, you'll blow it away. The Hunger Games is correct. Suzanne Collins, Jennifer Lawrence in the films, and now a prequel just released, which they have announced they will be doing, I believe, a television series or a movie. It's getting an adaptation, even the prequel. So good job, 92% of you. Question number 30. As of this year, as of 2020, which of the individuals listed below holds the record for having hosted the Academy Awards the most times? Which of the individuals below has hosted the most Academy Award ceremonies? Whoopi Goldberg, Billy Crystal, Bob Hope, or Johnny Carson? All right, everybody's almost in. Okay, so I was just double checking so I could give you these numbers. A lot of you said Billy Crystal. One of you said Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg was the first woman to ever host the Oscars. Johnny Carson has hosted it 5 times. Billy Crystal has hosted it 9 times, but he could still host it more. Bob Hope has hosted the Academy Award ceremonies 18 times.
That's so many.
18 times. So far and above Billy Crystal. I know most of you out there have probably seen Billy Crystal the most, because over the last 30, 40 years, he's hosted it a bunch. But in the 90 years that the Academy Awards have been around, Bob Hope hosted it and co-hosted it 18 times. So good job, the 26 of you that knew that. But Billy Crystal could make a comeback in the future. Here we go. Question number 31. This always takes a second to load, so good time for a drink. Question 31, native to South Asia. The kumquat is a small variety of which fruit? Native to South Asia, the kumquat is a small variety of which fruit? Is it the pear, orange, apple, or the peach? It is a small variety of which of these fruits? I have never eaten a kumquat.
No, I've never.
No? Have you guys eaten a kumquat? Let us know. Comment. What's it taste like? I mean, maybe don't give it away. Wait 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But let us know if you've eaten one. We check the sound one more time. Okay, that's good. All right, everybody's in. You guys did better here than you did on the Bob Hope question. 55% of you thought orange. 24% of you said pear. 25 people said peach. The correct answer is orange. Kumquat is a small variety of orange. So good job. One more question in multiple choice, then we're going to flip to our last themed round here. Who played James Bond in the 007 film Skyfall? Which of these actors was James Bond in Skyfall? Was it Roger Moore, Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, or Daniel Craig? Kathy B has had one. Sarah Marshall, thank you for enjoying my tobacco gift. Bart, I thought you said it tasted horrible. It does, but I can't stop eating it. Ooh, homemade lasagna and homemade garlic bread.
Really
Shoot us a message. I'll send you our address if you want to just post some of that over here real quick. I'd appreciate it. All right, let's see what you guys thought. I thought you might do well here, and guess what? I was right because you were all right. Daniel Craig, that's a social. Congrats, Daniel Craig. Pretty close to being in the most Bond films. He holds some record. I think he's been in the most decades because he started in the 2000s, and then he was in the 2010s, and now he's going to be in the 2020s. But Sean Connery, I think, was in the most, but he's now the longest spanning, I believe. All right, that is it for multiple choice. That is it for multiple choice. I'll throw the rankings up. We're just going to go through it once. We'll go through the rankings once so you can see where we're at. First, second, and third. Uh-oh, we have a switch. Batty Boop's Fan Club, and then Ben's Family, and then Harley's Humans in first, second, and third. The next round is one more themed round where there are 5 questions that are all the same question with a different subject. So I'll get to those after we see these. But from now on, from this point on till the end of the night, we are no longer taking away points the longer that it takes you to answer. As long as you get your answer in, you're going to get your points. Darby, Nancy Pants. So we did hear, Gina told me, individuals that put the stars out there just did that to make it easy for everybody to see where they were. They're all playing and they know each other. So it's not a team. It's not any secret organ. I still think, a conspiracy theory, it's probably a secret organization.
Why not?
Yeah, it's the Illuminati.
I would do it.
All right, so we're about through this. I see the Noop Gang out there. Wisecrackers, I love that name. Dion Nation. Archimedes, Jessica Cater, you out there? Archimedes. Star SNS, Clan of the Nerds. Welcome back, Taco. Team Gigi and James. He's awake. All right, so we've gone through, guys. I'm going to take it down because we're going to start this next round. This is the final time we're going to have a themed round. We have one more bonus round at the end, but this next one, there are 5 questions. They all come from the same idea, but each one has a different answer. For this one, I hope you didn't think that I would host a trivia night for the West Suburban Humane Society and not have a themed round about pets. This round specifically is about famous television and movie pets. So for the next 5 questions, I'm going to give you the name of a fictional animal. You have to tell me what TV show or what movie you would have seen that fictional animal in. So for example, if the next question said name the fictional pet and his name was Dino, your answer would be the Flintstones. If it said something else, I don't want to give away one of the answers, but I'm going to give you the name of the pet. You have to tell me the TV show or the movie that he's from. If I said name the movie that featured Raja, that would be Aladdin. All right, so that's how this works. There are 5 questions. They're worth 200 points apiece, and you earn those 200 points whether you answer instantly or right before the buzzer goes. But do try to get it in early so that the internet always counts it. Here we go. Question 33. Name the TV show or movie from this fictional pet, Comet the Golden Retriever. Comet the Golden Retriever would be in what TV show or movie?
The gifts are not.
Yeah, the gifts are not. You're going to see the same adorable dog high-fiving for the next 5 questions. They are not a clue. They're not there to help you. That is just there because I wanted you to see an adorable pup while you did this. All right, everybody is in. Let's flip over here. Speaking of it, right. Okay, I'm just marking a few right. A few of you just spelled this wrong, and a few of you gave me a roundabout correct answer. But I'm not gonna accept it. Let me actually just double check one thing. 1 second. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm going to put the answers up on the screen. A lot of you said Full House or Fuller House, and those of you that put Full House were correct. Correct. The interesting thing to note is that the same dog who was Comet, he was only named Comet on Full House, but the same dog, the actor, if you will, also played Air Bud. Huh. But I did not accept it because Air Bud's name was Bud. His name was Bud in the movie. We were asking what TV show we saw Comet on, and that was Full House. But I do always share when I ask this out at the restaurants that it's the same dog. Full House and Air Bud, same dog. So good job. Next one. What TV show or movie would you find a fictional pet named Pork Chop the dog? Pork Chop the dog from what TV show or movie? That's right, Karen. You learn something new every day. Who played the first Bond? Barry Nelson, TV production of Casino Royale. But Samuel and Karen, Sean Connery was the first movie Bond. Dr. No, 1962, I believe. But that's a good one to note, Samuel. TV production of Casino Royale, which is the first Ian Fleming Bond novel. All right, let's see what you guys thought. I'm just checking for misspellings. Some of you know, some of you don't. Okay, I see one down there that I'm going to count because you gave me the first and last name of the character. Oh my God, I should know this. Help Us, We Don't Know, The Hangover, Not Stand By Me. All right, I'm just marking one more correct. That deserves it. Oops. There it is. The correct answer was Doug. Doug, the Nickelodeon show. Doug Funny, Skeeter, Patty Mayonnaise, Roger Klutz, and Doug's loyal dog, Pork Chop. All right, question 35. What TV show or movie would you find a fictional pet named Santa's Little Helper? Santa's Little Helper on what TV show or movie? Santa's Little Helper, the name of a fictional pet. Looks like he's in jail, staring out between the bars. All right, all right. You guys doing very well here. I'm just correcting a few answers. Just to give you an idea, with the system that we use, if you added an apostrophe to your answer and I didn't have one, it marks you wrong. So that's my example of, that's why I take my time and make sure I check, because those individuals definitely deserve points, and I'm not going to let you be shorted. Here we go. Correct answer here, Santa's Little Helper, adopted from the racetrack after the owner threw him out. That is on The Simpsons. If you wrote Simpsons, The Simpsons, you got points here. Good job. Question 36. What TV show or movie would you see a fictional pet named Spot the Dragon? It was a dragon named Spot. On what TV show or movie? Oh, meow to you too, Katniss. All right, everybody's in. Just going to mark a few things. Whoops. Correct over here. A lot of you forgot an N. A lot of you forgot an N in your answer, but you were close enough. A few of you spelled it like cheese that I do love. Gina knows.
Oh,
Me too. All right, just checking out a few more of these. So, few answers. I see Help, Puff the Magic Dragon. That dragon's name was Puff. Pete's Dragon. That dragon's name was Elliot. Aladdin. I don't think there was a dragon. How to Train Your Dragon. That dragon's name was Toothless. The correct answer here was the Munsters. The Munsters, some really old robotic animatronic work. The dragon just opens his mouth, breathes some fire from under the stairs on the Munsters. All right, I believe we have one more. Name the TV show or the movie where you would meet the fictional pet named Pascal the Chameleon. Pascal the Chameleon from what fictional, is a fictional pet from what TV show or movie? If you're looking at the taco cam, he has his face pressed against the back of the chair with his snout between the bars. That's why I said he looks like he's in jail. He's sticking his snout out right now. That cannot be the most comfortable way to lay.
you know,
But dogs are interesting creatures. Dogs are oh, he's awake. All right. Let's see what you thought. I'm going to be pretty specific on this one because I'm looking for the name of the movie. I think we need to start watching TV. Good answer. We heart trivia night. We heart you. We heart you right back. All right, I'm just going to check these other 10 answers and see what you got. It's really close. So again, some of you are pretty close. You named a character, but I'm looking for the name of the film. I got to be specific somewhere because we are playing for a prize. The correct answer is Tangled. Tangled is the name of the movie where you would meet Pascal the chameleon. It is about Rapunzel. So don't feel bad if you put Rapunzel. You just didn't get points here because the name of the film is Tangled. Tangled. All right. The next round is different, so I'm going to throw the rankings up for just 1 second. I'm going to let them go through once so you can see where you're at, and I'm going to explain how the final round will work. Ben's family, Batty Boop's fan club, and Scott in first, second, and third. Everybody else, you'll see your scores rotating through. Molly and Reagan, I see you out there, 64th. Jill and Mike, 61st. Del Boca Vista in 71st. Holly, Kevin, 74th, 75th. Hashtag, or Nancy Pants in 76th. Sims family, Radigan family in 80th. Sarah and Joe and the Noop Gang in 91st and 92nd. If you're still hanging out with us, guys, don't go anywhere. Even if you're towards the bottom, I hope you're having a good time. Somebody has to win and somebody has to lose, but as long as you have fun, really, you've won. So please stick with us all the way through the end. We just have one final round. It is a round unlike anything we've done. So this is, again, the most points are up for grabs over the next 10 questions. So don't go anywhere. And we have to announce our Split the Pot winners. And I want to tell you how much you all helped us raise for the West Suburban Humane Society tonight. So I'm back on this screen because I want you to focus for just 1 second. We are no longer doing multiple choice. We are no longer doing a themed round where every question is going to be the same. This is, for the first and only time tonight, a bonus round that is called a secret connection round. So if you've played trivia with us at the bars, the restaurants before, you might know how this works, but for everybody else, listen closely. The next 9 questions are general knowledge trivia questions, just like we've had all night, but you will not have multiple choice answers. So they don't all have the same theme. I'm not asking you a bunch of questions about the same thing. They are 9 separate questions, but you have to answer on your own. So I've increased the points to 300 per question, which is a big swing. There are a lot of points up for grabs. In addition, make sure you're listening right now. In addition, the next 9 questions, the answer to each question has something in common with every other answer. I'm going to tell you what I mean. We're going to do 9 questions. If I asked you what was the name of the Beatles song about an underwater vessel and what color is the sky and something else. If all the answers had colors in them, yellow submarine, the sky is blue, the white album, if all of your answers had colors, then the secret connection would be colors. The secret connection is not that easy tonight. The secret connection will take some thinking. But just know there are 500 bonus points up for grabs for the very last question tonight if you can identify what ties all 9 of our answers together. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's tough. Tonight, I think it's pretty tough. But if you come up with it, you earn 500 bonus points. So do pay attention to each of the answers. I'll list them at the end, so you don't have to write them down. But if you want to, I would write the answers down so you can be thinking about it the whole time. So here we go. Gina, you ready? We're ready. Let's go.
Katniss, you ready?
Question 38. You have to type the answer in. You have 30 seconds when I start the timer.
Oh, no.
Taco jumped up. Here we go. Question 38. I'll put the questions back on the screen. Looking for the name of a musician. In July 2014, Australian singer/songwriter James Gabriel Keogh, what's up, Sarah Keogh? James Gabriel Keogh released the hit single Mess Is Mine. By what stage name is James better known? So his real name is James Gabriel Keogh. He released the hit single Mess Is Mine. But what is the more popular, better known stage name of James Gabriel Keogh?
No relation.
Yeah, no relation to Sarah Keogh. That's good to know, because otherwise I'd be hitting you up. Let's go visit your cousin. I see a lot of good guesses coming in already. So this is where it gets tough. Again, it's a close game right now, so we're going to start to separate here over the last 9 questions and the bonus question. A lot of you said Vance Joy, A Dingo Stole My Baby, Adel, Wiz Khalid, Mumford & Sons. I'm just checking that anybody...
There's a YouTube link.
Yeah, don't click that. Who knows what that is? Maybe it's fine. I don't... Just the system told us we answered all the questions and locked us out. Is everybody else still in? Hey, now, no relation. Mark, try getting back in. See if it lets you. Again, I do apologize. This online system is new. I'm just marking one of these correct. The correct answer is Vance Joy. He goes by Vance Joy. That is his stage name. Probably better known for Riptide, but Mess Is Mine, another one. Didn't want to make it too easy. Here we go. Question 39. Looking for the name of a film. All you have to do is give me the name of the film. What 1998 Steven Spielberg film was released and marketed with the tagline, "The mission is a man"? What 1998 Steven Spielberg film was marketed with the tagline, "The mission is a man"? What is the name of that film? You have 30 seconds. Get those answers in. A couple of you are pretty close spelling-wise. I'm just going to mark a few right. Oh, if you heard that beep, that means the oven's preheated for our pizza. So this is an exciting time in my life right now. I did not make this up. This is a real question. Whoops, we're going to go back. Don't look at that. I'm going to tell you guys what the correct answer to number 39 is. If the system will cooperate. All right. So the correct answer here, if you wrote it, you got points for question 39. The correct answer was Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan. Sorry, it's not up on the screen right now, but Saving Private Ryan, the correct answer. Most of you did. Over 60% of you wrote Saving Private Ryan. It wasn't Band of Brothers, Schindler's List, Armageddon, Apollo 13, all good guesses, but Saving Private Ryan was correct. Here we go. Don't forget, there's a secret connection. Start thinking about what these answers have in common. Number 40, we have another cocktail question. Created at the Waldorf Astoria in 1894. What is the name of the cocktail that consists primarily of scotch, sweet vermouth, and bitters, and is named after a Scottish folk hero? Yes, these questions are getting tough. I see your comments. They're meant to be. These are worth 300 points apiece, plus a 500-point bonus if you figure out what ties all of the answers together. What is the name of the cocktail created at the Waldorf Astoria in 1894, made of scotch, sweet vermouth, and bitters, named after a Scottish folk hero? I love the GIF. We're doing Golden Girls trivia soon. Betty White just pouring that vodka. Let's see what you guys thought. I'll put them up on the screen while I grade them. A lot of you said Rob Roy. We saw Manhattan, Harvey Wallbanger, Great Scott, Harvey Wallbanger, Scottish Martini. Roy Roger is close. Tom Roy, close, but not correct. The correct answer here is the Rob Roy. The Rob Roy. If you wrote Manhattan, don't feel bad. You were close. The main difference here is a Manhattan is made with American whiskey, specifically, typically a rye whiskey. The Rob Roy is what you call it when you make it with scotch. Scotch, sweet vermouth, and bitters, named after a Scottish folk hero. Also, Manhattan is not a Scottish folk hero. That is just a borough of New York. So, question number 41. Once again, every time we get 10 questions in, it takes just a second to load, so that's why this will take a second. This one, I think, pretty easy. What was the name of Fred Savage's character? I just need a first name. What was the name of Fred Savage's character on the hit 80s TV show, The Wonder Years? What was the name of Fred Savage's character? I just need a first name on The Wonder Years. Every time I see Fred Savage, I want to watch Little Monsters. Have you seen? You haven't seen Little Monsters, right? With Howie Mandel. Fred Savage. That's a weird movie. Cult classic. I think that defines cult classic. A lot of people like it, but I wouldn't say it was a great movie. But I love it. All right. Let's see what you guys put. Mark a few of these correct. Looking for the first name of his character. Okay, this one just a slight misspelling. all right. We got a lot of different spellings, so I'm just checking. Doogie Winnie's boyfriend. So the correct answer here, again, I just needed a first name, but if you gave me first and last, that's fine. Kevin Arnold. There's one up there that should be accepted. I clicked it. Kevin is all I needed, but if you wrote Kevin Arnold, you also got points. Good job. All right. It doesn't say it up there, but if you wrote Kevin or Kevin Arnold, you did get points. All right, here we go. Question 42. What American film director, screenwriter, and producer gave us classic, often controversial films, including Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket, and Eyes Wide Shut? Give me his full name or just his last name, either way. Which director, American film director, gave us controversial classic films like Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket, and Eyes Wide Shut? Jen Sterna, very excited. She knows the connection. Watched Clockwork Orange. That's a tough one to watch. Have you seen it? Yeah. All right. This one, if you know it, you know that there are a lot of ways that people might have spelled this wrong. So give me 1 second. I'm just marking these right.
What do you want me to say to?
What's it say? Kathy, refresh your screen. Yeah, I would even close your browser and come back in. Again, this is one of those issues, unfortunately, we can't control. If it's working for everybody else and it's not working on your end, it might be that your internet's not catching. Your internet might just be too slow right now, and that is just something that we have to deal with. It's a choice between not hosting an event and doing this, so we're doing the best. And again, the best way I can put it, if everybody starts having an issue, then it's something we have to deal with, and if it's just you having an issue, it's probably something with your internet. And that doesn't make me feel any better about it, but that's just the best way I can put it. So let's see what you guys thought. Most of you knew. 90 of you, 73% of you, Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick. All right, question 43. Which famous pop artist designed a 1971 album pictured here for the Rolling Stones that included a working zipper? So the album cover for this album included a working zipper. What was the name of the artist, American pop artist, who designed that cover? Again, give me their full name or just their last name. That's fine. All right, everybody is in. This is another one. If you know the answer, you know that there are about 600 ways that people could spell it. So I'm just taking 1 second to check all of your answers. I don't want to miss any of them just because you missed one letter or added an extra letter, or accidentally typed a completely different letter. Yes, somebody's answer out there. Too much wine. Yeah, fair. I feel you. I know how that goes. Just have 3 more answers to look at here. Yeah, I want to make sure I see everybody's. All right. Correct answer is Andy Warhol. So as long as your answer sounded like Andy Warhol, you got points for this answer. Question 44. Don't forget, there's a secret theme that ties all these together. Question 44. Which NBA star showed off his acting chops in the lead role. So I'm looking for the main actor, NBA star from the 1996 classic film Space Jam. Which NBA star showed off his acting chops, the lead role of 1996's Space Jam? I'm with you, Gina. Oh, somebody woke up. All right. Here we go. Marking a few of these right. Oh, some of you giving him his middle name. Some of you his nickname, which I love, but then it marks it wrong. So I got to mark it right for you. So, yeah, if you're playing pretty much right now, you knew. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. I made sure to say leading role because we did see some other actors in there. Charles Barkley was out there. Muggsy Bogues was out there. Was Patrick Ewing, maybe? A lot of other NBA players. And let's not forget many other actors. Newman was in it. But Michael Jordan, the main NBA star. Question 45. This one, I told you we'd have more than one president question, but less than 30. Here's the second. Which U.S. president signed the Civil Rights Act of 1957 into effect and sent Army troops to enforce federal court orders which integrated schools in Little Rock, Arkansas? If you're out there saying, how will I know? If you figured out the theme, if you figured out the secret connection, work backwards. Think about presidents whose names might work in the secret connection. Yeah, I'm not sure, Ash. I agree. That could be an issue, but we've had games with over 400 people that were working okay. And right now we just have about 130. So it could be that. But again, if 100 of you out there are still able to answer and only a couple people aren't, I'm not sure. There's nothing that I can change on my side. I'm sorry. There's nothing else I can say.
No, sorry. We don't have it.
I understand the frustration,
solution,
but there's no solution for that. The solution is when we can play together in the bars again. Right now, this is the best thing we have. All right. This one, again, some of you going all out, giving me his middle name. If you just gave me the last name, that's fine. Just a last name. Honestly, I took a first name or a last name at this point for the most part, as long as you gave me initials. All right, everybody is in. Correct answer here is Dwight D. Eisenhower. You didn't have to have the D. If you gave me just Eisenhower, you got points. Don't you worry. 85 of you out there did. 69% of you. Good job. We just have 2 questions left. The next question is the final regular question, and then the question after that will be asking you what the secret theme is. So here we go. Question 46. Maybe. Question 46. Which legendary rock star's alter ego was the Lizard King? I put this picture in just for Gina, one of her favorite gifts. Which legendary rock star's alter ego was known as the Lizard King? Good call, Karen. I'll go back. I'll check out that Ike answer for you, Karen. Don't you worry. All right, everybody's in here. And everybody did a good job of spelling. For the most part. All right, answers up on the screen. Correct answer, Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison of The Doors. If you wrote Jim Morrison of The Doors, you got points. Don't you worry. Jim Morrison of The Doors. All right, so the final question The final question is going to ask you what the secret connection is. I'm going to have all the answers listed up there so you don't have to remember them, but if you wrote them down, you could have been thinking about it the whole time. You have 30 seconds. What is the secret connection? What ties all 9 answers together? Could be anything. What ties all 9 of these answers together? You have 30 seconds. Saving Private Ryan, Vance Joy, Rob Roy, Kevin Arnold, Stanley Kubrick, Andy Warhol, Michael Jordan, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and Jim Morrison. Oh yeah, you guys know this connection. Seeing the answers come in right now. Megan, yeah, if you wrote, yep, you got points. If you spelled Morrison wrong, you still got points. David Morrison, no relation. All right, a couple of you have good guesses, but not as specific as we're looking for. Some of you got really specific, more specific than you needed to, but that's fine. You still got points. Somebody answered all in caps. They are very excited. Marking these right, marking these right. So again, if you didn't get points for this, it doesn't mean that your answer may not have technically been correct, but there's a very specific answer we're looking for. We're always going to give points to the most specific answer, which many of you got, many of you knew, but many of you wrote it different ways. So I'm still clicking to mark these correct. Almost there. All right. Somebody guessed they all adopted pets from the West Suburban Humane Society. I wish that was the right answer. Hopefully you all adopt pets from the West Suburban Humane Society. Many of you out there already have pets, as we've seen. Proof via your pictures. All right, here we go. We're going to do this final answer, and then we're going to do our raffle prizes. All right, the correct answer, again, we were looking for something very specific. It's not that they weren't all men's names, but you only got points if you wrote specifically. The secret connection here is The Office. They are not just men's names. These are all characters from The Office. We have Vance of Vance Refrigeration, Ryan, Roy, Kevin, Stanley, Andy, Michael, Dwight, and Jim. That is how the secret connection works. I like the guess, Baig of Tricks. They all owned a dog, 1900s. They all adopted pets from the West Suburban Humane Society. All good guesses, but The Office was the most correct. We're always awarding to the most correct. So I'm just checking one answer back here really quick. One person said they wrote an answer and just want to make sure that they got points. And I'm going to check, because it'll only take me here about 20 seconds. Okay, yeah, we're all good. So we are going to do the final standings. The person in first place here at the end will win that prize package courtesy of the West Suburban Humane Society, but the entire event, again, sponsored by Partners in Paws out of Lyle. So thank you all for playing. Thank you for dealing with this online platform. Again, it works much better than having you write a pencil and paper answer and holding it up to the screen, even with the drawbacks. We thank you for your patience. We thank you for being here and supporting the West Suburban Humane Society. So our final standings, don't go anywhere, though, because we do have the announcements over the Split the Pot for 2 prizes. In first place at the end of the night, we have the Batty Boops Fan Club only about 100 points ahead of Harley's Humans. They both knocked Ben's family down into third place, who's still up there, only 1 point behind second place. So Batty Boops Fan Club, if you are in the team Batty Boops Fan Club, please send a message or email the West Suburban Humane Society. We have your email on here, so everyone else, if you're feeling like trying to lie, please don't. Batty Boops Fan Club, I know your email, so if you are Batty Boops Fan Club, send a message or email the West Suburban Humane Society to get set up with your prize. In addition, we have 2 prizes to give away for the Split the Pot. I just heard from Ed Vaughn, Ben is sad. I'm sorry, Ben and Ben's family. Third place is still nothing to be sad about. A lot of teams playing. All right, a few announcements. Split the Pot. We have a first place winner and a second place winner. And before we do that, I want to let you know that from Split the Pot alone tonight, we were able to raise for the West Suburban Humane Society a total, and this will be split, but a total of $1,975, which means if your name is the name that I call as the winner, you're going to receive $988. So nothing to, I mean, that is something to write home about. Yeah, that's incredible. $988 going back to this individual, Barbara L. Barbara L. We do have a full name, but I think there's only one Barbara L. So if you are Barbara L, you have just won $988. Again, yeah, you're hanging out playing trivia. You just won $988. So make sure you email the West Suburban Humane Society. You should already have an email from them when you signed up. We don't handle any of this at Baig, so send them an email. In addition, second place, you're not going home with nothing. The second ticket that they drew, this individual will win the Nom Nom home delivery food for the pet, dog or cat, I believe for 2 weeks, courtesy of Nom Nom. That individual is Christina H. That's Christina with a K. Christina H. You have won the Nom Nom second place package prize for the Split the Pot. In total, everybody, before you go, I just want you to know, A, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here tonight and working with this new system and helping us to raise money. Just so you know, I know some of you out there are frustrated with the internet or anything that happened. If we wouldn't have put this event on at all, we would have raised $0 for the West Suburban Humane Society. We were going to do a trivia night. It would have been canceled. So honest to God, people, we're doing the best we can to help a foundation out there that's in dire need of funds, and we're doing the best we can to raise money for them. So I understand the frustration, but please don't lose sight of why we're here. I don't know how else to say it. I get it. I would be frustrated too, but take a breath and understand we're here to raise money for this organization. And we did that tonight to the tune of $8,100. $8,100 was raised for the West Suburban Humane Society. That is going to help out so many dogs and cats and countless pets and fosters and pets that would not get this assistance or this help if it wasn't for you. So again, from the bottom of my heart, I get that it's frustrating, but this would not happen at all because of the lockdown if we just hadn't tried this new format. So please just work with us here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for playing trivia. Thank you for supporting such a worthy cause. West Suburban Humane Society, thank you for hiring us to do this, putting this on for you. Partners in Paws, we love you so much. Thank you for sponsoring this event. Guys, that's it for trivia tonight. We're out. We'll see you next time. We have a whole bunch of events coming up this week, but I'm not going to sit you in spam with Baig Trick stuff. You can find that out on our website or on our Facebook page. That's it for us tonight. We love you. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Wash your hands.